Hello, my name is Lorraine Richardson and I am an experienced property solicitor and legal trainer, and I'm delighted to say I'm also a consultant for DG Legal. I'm really concerned about the negative, misleading statements that are coming from the media regarding the effect of Covid-19 on the property market. There's absolutely no doubt that we are in challenging times, but I do find it very difficult when I see the media saying things like the property market is shut down, when this clearly isn't the case. The property market, as we know, represents a very significant part of the UK economy, both in terms, of course, of the number of jobs and professions it supports, the fact that we are a home-owning democracy, and, of course, the stamp duty land tax receipts for the revenue. I therefore think it's very important for all of us involved in the property market to actually try to encourage and support our conveyancers and sellers and buyers at this time to make sure that we are ready to proceed as and when the property market picks up, which of course it will. So what I'd like to encourage conveyancers to do is to be more positive, perhaps about what they and their seller and buyers can be doing during this difficult time. Let me give you some suggestions. So conveyancing firms, you can actually be getting your own house in order here. You're probably aware that you should have been complying with the transparency rules since December 2018, which require you to put your conveyancing and other specified legal fees clearly and straightforwardly on your website. Of course, it's a compliance and regulatory issue, and as David from DG Legal has sagely pointed out, the SRA at the moment working at home are in a perfect position to continue to do their web sweeps of firms to check compliance. So if you're not complying, you should really make sure that you are. But of course, on a more positive note, sellers and buyers at this time may well be checking out potential conveyancers, looking at your websites, working out what your fees will be, and clearly making sure therefore that you are complying with the transparency rules and everything you've got on there is clear, I think can only be a good thing. As a conveyancing firm, you can also use this time to check that your standard letters and reports, for example, are up to date. Leasehold advice and rent charges, for example, are two areas where, law and practice is very, very fast moving, and to check your standard reports and letters in a quieter time to ensure that you're giving consistent advice across your team clearly is a very good idea. I also think a very important point for you to remember is that furloughed staff, if you've found the need to do that, they can still carry out training. So you can still support your furloughed staff with training during this difficult time. But there are also things that you can be encouraging your prospective seller and buyer clients to do on your website, for example. So you could be encouraging your sellers perhaps to prepare for a sale of their property, whether that's by gathering information that's needed for the property information form, finding electrical certificates, planning permissions, etc., or simply getting their property curb ready by, decorating, tidying up, doing the garden, whilst of course complying with social distancing rules. And you can suggest conversely that your prospective buyer clients get their houses in order too. They can gather their identification documents, gather their documentation together regarding their financing. As we know, conveyancers are going to have to carry out source of wealth and source of funds checks eventually, which can waste valuable time at the beginning of a transaction. Many conveyancing firms are very much open for business at this time and are happy to open files for sellers and buyers to at least enable us to be prepared to proceed. And of course, in conclusion, we are in challenging times, but I genuinely think there's plenty that conveyancers can be doing to stay positive, to send a positive message to their clients. Remember, this situation is not going to last forever. The property market will come back, and hopefully we can use this time to make sure that we and our clients are ready to proceed as and when it does.